backwards. Did you know that about me?
No.
ZYXWVUT SRQPONM LKJIHGFEDCBA. Yeah, it's one of my many talents. Saying the alphabet backwards, which is actually super odd because I've garnered, is that the right word? I've gathered this random list of talents that I can do, and it's all in the goal to have this toolbox full of the most random stuff. Some including knowing a certain amount of numbers of pi, and I'm gonna do them. No, I won't. It's okay. But I know a bunch of numbers of pi. I won a contest in 5th grade for memorizing that, and I feel like that was one of those things where I was like, well, if I'm not good at math or not good at science or not good at these things, I'm gonna memorize stuff to make me valuable or cool in certain ways. So I know 2 really long poems, the alphabet backwards, about 57 digits of pi, and many other random skills. I don't know where that comes from. I feel like if I explored that, it'd be having these talents or things to overshadow the fact that I was never good at school or paying attention in those structured classes, which probably lend itself to making me who I am today and putting myself in the position that I'm working in, which is the creative artist industry for sure. There's an airplane in the sky right now. It's Southwest, because I can tell that because it's blue with a red wing at the end, and I've always found that really interesting, why they put stuff on planes different colors. But I never thought about the fact that you sit here and you see it, and I see that Southwest is flying, so it's its own level of advertising. Again, why? I don't know. Now I think Southwest. I'm flying United next week when I'm going to Denver. Going to go out to Denver to see my dad and my brother, which, just going to switch subjects here. I was just thinking about how scratched my legs are. We just walked through quite the amount of brush and debris to get over here to this spot that actually was along our first path in the first place, which is fun. Makes me think of so I went on this 3-month backpacking trip, and there's these routes that we'd have to go on where we'd have to walk through the brush. I don't remember the name of that, walking through the brush. It was I don't know, going off trail. There's some word for it. There's some hiking and backpacking word for it, but we did it all the time. And it was actually one of my favorite things to do because it felt powerful to pave your own path and go your own way, which kind of maybe also shows itself a little bit about me. Damn. Interesting. There's something in the water right now that when I first looked at it, I thought it was a whale coming out of the water, but it's not. I think it's just a rock. But what if it was a whale? That'd be dope. I got high once. And Mac, I don't know if you've heard this story before, but you're about to hear it. I got high once, literally only once in my life I've been high, and I was sitting on this edge of a cliff with my cousin, and the moonlight was shining over this rock, and then the water and the rock looked like a capsized boat, and then the way that the moonlight was hitting the water, it looked like people were swimming from the boat, and it was so, I use the word trippy, but obviously I wasn't tripping, I was just a little high, but my imagination, the way that I imagine things when I'm not high, are already very vivid, so it was really interesting to see, I created this whole scene that came to life of this boat that had capsized, and the people were swimming to shore and climbing up the mountain, and then it took a horrific turn where the people were zombies and they were climbing the mountain. And I was telling my cousin about this as we were sitting there and high, and he's like, what is going on in your brain? What is happening? And I was like, oh, this isn't just when I'm high. This is day-to-day life. I imagine things during the day, which is leads into the same but other topic of when I'm not high. My imagination, the way that my brain works, and it's worked like this since I was a kid. I was the kid who ran around chasing dragons. Logan always talks about those kids, but that was me. And so during the day, I'll be walking on the street and I'll imagine this whole scene. One that I always remember because it makes me laugh is, who was I telling this to? I don't remember, but anyway, is I was walking on the street in Hollywood, and I imagined this whole scene where this guy shoves this guy up against the wall, and a guy comes around the corner and shoots this other guy, and they like go down, and I'm seeing this whole entire scene in front of me, and it made me chuckle in the moment because like as I'm imagining this, I'm walking and I step over the guy that I'm imagining. Like physically, me as a person walking along Hollywood, I like step over him because I have to go on my path, but like the thing that I'm imagining is so real in front of me that I like step over it, and then I chuckle to myself because it like goes back to my childhood self where you actually can see something so vivid, such as dragons or such as the castle or such as whatever you're imagining, that like it feels so real to you. And so those are the little moments of imagination and creativity that I hold on to and try to create more of in my life, because at some point growing up it just kind of dies away. Like 4th or 5th grade me like stopped playing in the castles of dragons, and like why can't I do that at 23, you know? Run around with like walls and lava and create rooms or create houses in the woods and do all that type of stuff. Like that'd be dope. And I still do. Like I said, stepped over a dead guy in Hollywood, but he like wasn't real. So anyway, I try to do that in my life, whether it's daytime imagination or I'm not much of a nighttime dreamer, but I'm more of a daydreamer. But like, why can't we all be okay with daydreaming and creating reality from those dreams? I think that's it. I think I'm going to end it there on that note. Thanks for listening to me talk. And the clouds are freaking incredible. All right. Peace.